Hello there, everyone. Decided to do something different this time. We're going to do audio after the gameplay, I suppose. So what we've done here is I've soloed 5 mask full clear as an Unholy DK for the Stormwind Vision. So I'll talk over what I did and why I did it, and also cover some of the mistakes I made, because I made a lot towards the end. So let's get right into it. Alright, so here you can see all masks are on. Yep. Spec. I'll go over this again. I'll go over the spec again when we load into the vision. Oh, we're in the vision. Sorry, that's retarded. So, Infected Claws, Bursting Swords, basically good AoE. The gear I've got is basically just the same gear you'd use for the Mythic Plus, which is just mastery stacking, really. The corruptions I have are just a crit percentage, which does next to nothing, and 2 mastery procs. They're not the best. You could have better ones, but like if you had Twilight Devastation, that's really sick. So, going into this, my gear's pretty good, my research is completely maxed out, I've got a flask on, I've got a food buff which is mastery, and we're going to go in. I've also got K-Babs. So what we're going to do at the start is we are going to pull this footman and the guys. So something important to remember here is the footman has an ability called Repel that they use around, like, they just use it towards the end. This will reflect damage and make them take less damage, so you want to stun it if you can, or like basically in any way, shape or form to stop that shit. So something important to note here is the Mind Flayad will slow you if you run away from Mind Flay. And I checked the potion there, and the potion I believe was purple or black. I'd have to go check, but because of that, what you can do is you can check what it is, and then you can get the opposite. There's a weak aura for this, but I don't use it because of my potion. So I pull everything into this room where the bear is, which gives me a haste buff, and I also use it to like just basically drag everything in the same spot and AoE it down. I have left the 2 guards by Alira, and the reason I did that was every time I've done that here, they've kind of just made the whole thing a clusterfuck. And I moved out of range of the psychic screen there. I wasn't sure if you can LOS it, and I didn't want to risk it. So yep, we killed everything there, nuked everything. We've got the haste buff from the bear that spawns in there. There's red liquid there. I figured why not drink it, like... You really don't have to. It's kind of, I think this one's just a, yeah, it's just a 2% health every 5 seconds. It's literally useless, really. Not that good, but I mean, it's there, right? So going on here, we're going to go to Dwarf District first. The order I go is Dwarf District, Old Town, into Trade District, into Mage Quarter. I think that's the best one. I haven't really seen a better route, I guess. I think that's what everyone's doing. So here, just going in pretty normal, pretty standard stuff. So far, just gathered everything up in the Cathedral District, or Cathedral Quarter, what it's called, and nuked it down. I'm using Blood of the Enemy here, as you saw with my Essence choices before, because it just helps the Unholy DK burst window during D&D. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to group up a lot of people, and basically just AoE nuke it down, and Unholy DK is really good at that. I think here I get a proc, so I decide, fuck it, we're going in, and I'm going to pull the boss. I probably shouldn't have Apocalypse that, because it killed a lot of little guys, and if I were to use that at this guy, it would do a lot of cleave, because of Bursting Swords. So basically, like, I'm basically just using the same mindset you would use if you were in M+, which is just like, get a bunch of stuff with wounds, nuke it down, get a lot of AoE cleave and stuff. That's about it. Just getting bombs now, cleaning out this. If you're very confident, you can do the entire Dwarf Quarter in 1 pull, but I didn't want to risk anything, so I did it in, I think I do it in 2 pulls, or 3 pulls, either way. Yeah, pretty much just go at your own pace. For the most part, with how geared everyone is now, and how everyone's research is pretty good, you should just be able to, like, go at your own pace, and just, yeah, everyone's capes are, like, pretty high now. You can go at your own pace. I mean, I full cleared, I think, I've been full clearing since Elite Extermination. That's not to brag, because I know a lot of people are doing it even sooner. But, like, the Elite Extermination will give you so much sanity back that as long as you're not, like, getting hit by sanity loss mechanics, especially with Daredevil Mask, you should be fine, presuming you're not taking like a billion years, like pulling 1 pack at a time. Like sometimes you do have to pull more for that, but the Dwarf District is very, it's very good for Unholy DK and a lot of AoE classes because there's so many like small mobs that actually don't do much damage or just die next instantly. So we're going to engage the boss as a Dwarf District here. Very easy. I'm sure everyone knows what to do by now, but you just run up, kick away TNT, dodge TNT, kick TNT, dodge his breath. It's literally all the fighters. It's pretty easy. So I'm not going to save any cooldowns here because even though I'm going to Old Town next, I'm going to pull the rats first that are outside. I'm going to intentionally hit them, and the reason for that is I'm going to try to proc. I'm going to try to proc the Titan here to try to fight the mini boss there. So something I did there as well is I AMS the Dark Delusion that comes up to stun you just because I couldn't be bothered moving, and because there's nothing else to do, may as well eat some K-Bab, right? Get some sanity back. This one went really good on sanity, at least until the major did the quarter, and then I kind of entered a little bit, but it was all good. Yeah, I can't say it went badly. So here we go, we just dodged that, didn't want to take any unnecessary damage. Gonna spawn the rats intentionally, cloak procs, unlucky. So usually what I like to do here is go on the map and run and open that door before I kill the rats, because I'm fishing for a Gift of the Titans proc, basically like that. Because what I want to do here is I want to get the Gift of the Titans and sprint towards that mini boss and just mess it up. But unfortunately, can't do that because I'm being slowed by rogues. But one thing. So because it's Leaden Foot split personality, I have to be very careful not to like get caught in a really shit area. So as you saw there, I was able to like hit her a little bit longer, even though my gift ran out. So something I noticed here was I wasn't going to get the full benefit of the 200 sanity from Elite Extermination, so I didn't bother killing her yet. I pulled some other stuff because she gives you 200 sanity back. It's better, you want to get the most benefit from her. You don't want to overcap sanity. Another thing I did there was you can actually AMS to get through the split personality without getting disoriented, which is very good. So if you have AMS up, you can use it appropriately to get through when you need to. So here I'm just pulling because why not? I've got procs, I've got CDs, well, not all CDs, but I'm pretty healthy. I've got runic power, so in these packs, the two dangerous mobs really, for I guess the most part is, as you saw there, the SI7 Informant can stun you. It's really bad, and the Executioner does a lot of damage to it if you're below 50%. So those two need to be. You want to ideally kill the. I have no idea where this rogue came from. You want to kill the. You want to kill the Executioner, in my opinion, and then make sure you interrupt the SI7 Informant, because he's the one who's going to do Touch of the Abyss, which sucks. I thought I'd kill him there before it stunned me, but it did shortly after. So I got proc that. So because I got proc that, I'm going to go straight for the boss, even though his adds up, because he does do a sanity damage, and I want to obviously not take sanity damage. So because I've got the Gift of the Titans proc, I'm just going to go fully hard on him. I'm going to AMS here to get out of this circle, because I don't want to be standing in these twisted appendages that are about to spawn. And easy peasy. As you can see here, we're actually really good on sanity, really good, we're full sanity still. So what I'd usually do here is I'd usually orb before sure, but because of how good this run's going, I just didn't bother. I just went straight for it. May as well use the sanity, right? Killed all that shit. She's there. Alright. So we're gonna go for sure. You can orb here if you're worried, because sure does kind of suck on split personality weak. So the reason I did this, I pulled as the split personality happened, and the reason I did this is because I don't want split personality to happen during this phase where the swirl. I don't know what the ability is actually called, but the swirlies chase you, because they do a lot of sanity damage with a Daredevil mask on. So now I'm going to, I believe I pop Lust here when he comes back out, and I'm just gonna do as much damage as I can. I'm gonna save AMS in case it happens during, in case that split personality happens during the that phase. I would have immediately AMS had it not disappeared. And now I'm just trying to move Shore away from the eyes so I can hit him. And eventually I just give up, and you can AMS the Eyeball's Gaze ability, so you don't take sanity damage. And I think I do that here just because I want to get Shore down, because he's so low. Yep, easy. So something's funny here is I actually come back to the. I'm actually debating here: do I get the chests for the mementos or do I not? And the answer is yes, because of how well this is going. I kind of just greeded and got all the chests filled mementos, which paid off because yeah, I got quite a lot of mementos, which you'll see later throughout the whole run. So I went back and cleared for the chests. Now something I missed was there was actually a chest in the bar back there. So I'm gonna be searching for it and not going, where is it? You know, where's the chest? Because I want those mementos, right? Buy sockets nowadays with them because I've got to complete the research. So just killing. Nothing really to mention here, just kill him. One thing I did do was I went with Alira because she's going to exit and like, even though it's kind of minor, she does do a little bit of CC. I'm going to AMS that because I don't want to be slowed down. And I'm just going to fight these rogues because I thought I got both chests, but later on I kind of go, wait a minute, I didn't get both kind of deal. And I was kind of asking myself here, like, do I want to do that? Like, do I want to just do I want to just complete it and miss a chest? I don't know what I want to do. And I eat K-Bab here because good time for it. Honestly, you can eat K-Bab whenever. I like eating it in the Cathedral District area because it's got the least sanity drain. So I usually just eat it after like every quarter, honestly. So I'm going back in here to try and look for the chest. This is just me greeting for the chest. You don't have to get both, honestly. I'm pretty confident I know it's in the bar still, so I go for that, and there it is, I see it. And I'm kicking myself going, why didn't I see this before? I'm being stupid. Just doing a typical rotation quickly, you know, enrage the ghoul, chuck down, pop all your cooldowns, chuck down D&D, blood the enemy, do a lot of damage. Yeah. I think like DK might not be Demon Hunter, Rogue, Hunter, or Druid, or anyone like stealth who can get through really easily, but it's still it feels very strong. Like your AoE is really strong, AMS that just in time. Your AoE is really strong, your sustainability of your health is really strong with Death Strike, especially solo because you get a lot more Dark Secure procs. So I mean, I think DK is really strong in Visions. I mean, it's not as fast as like a DH or something, and we have to intentionally pull a lot. This guy just spawned, unlucky, so I have to deal with him. Yeah, those guys aren't too bad though, honestly, because they can you can kill them and get a Gift of the Titans proc, which is kind of nice. So the route I'm gonna do here is I'm just going to avoid every mob I don't have to pull, basically, in the trade district. I'm gonna group them all up. Just do what you need to do. You could pull more here. I actually pull kind of conservative, just because I know how well the run's going, because I've still got 3 orbs, I've still got cheap death. Like, I'm looking really favorable that I don't want to like intentionally feed, you know, by pulling too much. So I'm just gonna pull it a moderate amount, jump to not get I don't know how to pronounce it, but entomophobia, the bugs on your screen. I'm just gonna clear. I think whilst I'm pulling this mob, I get a Gift of the Titans proc, and I actually was debating orbing here because I know it was kind of low, but I got Gift of the Titans, so I just go straight in, and it was the correct call because I have Gift of the Titans, he doesn't do sanity damage, so Agonizing Torment does literally nothing, so I can just sit here and just take it, and then interrupt this one cast that comes when yeah. And yeah, gonna go to the Slave Master. There's a really good trick for Unholy, or DKs in general, at Slave Master, and Rogues as well. I guess you could do it as Rogues, or maybe even anything with an immunity, honestly. Is when he casts, I forget, whatever the chains is, the chain ability, you can AMS that preemptively, and then you don't get chained. So that's pretty good, because then you get to just do more damage, right? Chains of Servitude, that's it. So I walk out of the circle, I AMS. You can still take sanity damage if you walk in the circle, so it's very important you stand on the very edge like I am. If you don't trust yourself to do it, like, I would practice it, or at least like be very careful, because I think it's like 315 sanity damage. If you get hit by it accidentally, that's really, really, really bad, because of Long Night, I think my maximum sanity is 625 or something. So that, as you would imagine, you don't want to get hit by that. And stuck in combat here because this guy's here. Then I'm stuck in combat with the stupid eyeball of corruption that's hitting me. Then this spawns, and they're just trying to fuck me and not let me able to rescue this captive. But I'm just gonna pop my cape and just do that. So we're just going through again. The bank is open, so the gold elemental's in there. But I'm not gonna clear it because honestly, I think it takes more time than it's worth. I mean, you can do it if you want, though. I'm kind of debating here whether or not to do it. And I decided against it just because, like, it's kind of almost over anyway, right? Like, there's only one more challenge in the run, honestly, because everything else went so well. There's only one thing that can really mess me up here, and I'll cover him when we get to him. And before you say it's not Umbric. Umbric's actually a lot more manageable ever since the nerf where he only jumps twice now. And I'll go over why that is when we get to him. Especially as like a melee, like, holy crap. That guy's cancer with leaden foot. So just cleaning up all this area. I see a black liquid, so the one at the start was purple, and black is the opposite of purple, so 100 sanity. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's the opposites kind of go around in like a pentagram kind of style. Like, even though black is the opposite of purple, that doesn't mean purple is the opposite of black, if that makes sense. And I'm gonna eat my K-Bap here because, again, I'm looking pretty strong. Like, I've used 0 orbs, I've used nothing, I've got no cheat def, I've got cheat def, sorry, up still, and I'm about to enter the Mage Core. Like, this run is looking really strong. And like, to be fair, my cape is ranked 13 at this time. Like, it's got 80, I think it's 80 or 75% less sanity reduction. That's really good, you know, like, it's really strong. I used to have to orbit Shore when I was 5 mass clearing, but yeah, don't have to now, easy. Because just the cape, so it's just so much sanity reduction. I'm not really getting hit by anything yet, which is going to change as we enter the Mage Quarter, because I actually int quite a lot here to a couple of different mechanics. So I would stop here and kill all this stuff, but I got the proc, so why not? DKs can't be slowed below 70%, so you kind of just depths advance in Wraith Walk at like leaden foot, like just don't give a shit. And we're going to be very careful not to get disorientated here. And me being me, I'm still going to look for the chests with the mementos in it. Yeah. So the one thing I forgot to mention in the Old Town is it's very important in Old Town not to overpull, because the shit there does a lot of damage, like a lot of damage. So you don't want to overpull and die, basically, right? Like that, as you would imagine, kind of stupid. So what would have happened there was I was either going to go get that Portal Keeper, or I was going to go to this guy, whatever way was open to me, I went with. So for this guy, the way to do it easily is he's going to Rain of Fire, so stand at one side of him, then run to the other side of him, then interrupt him and move him out of the Rain of Fire, because it does a bit of sanity damage. You don't want to take that. So here I would AMS if I needed to get out, but luckily, get out easily. I AMS just for safety because, I don't know, I guess I was just scared. Same thing again, just going to hit him, hustle on the outside, easy peasy. Get some sanity back. Looking pretty good. I'm looking for the chest as I'm killing this guy. I can't see it, unfortunately. So, gonna wait for the sanity. I didn't mount here. I'm not quite sure why I didn't mount here. Probably just boomer, I guess. So we're gonna go for the Portal Keeper here in the Void Elemental. So something to note here is the Void Elemental will cast Void Buffet, and that does that might not seem very dangerous at lower levels, but at higher levels, that makes your sanity, the damage you take from it, really high. Also, there's something else. You gotta really watch out for these Portal Keepers, because they cast Psychic Scream after every Mind Flay almost. So it's kind of like, you kind of got to pick your poison. You either take more damage, or you take a fear, or you move away, or you just got to CC it some way. So the most dangerous thing, in my opinion, in the entire Stormwind Vision is this guy here. This Unbound Abomination, whatever it's called. Absolutely dangerous. You need cooldowns up. You want AMS 100% for this guy, because with Split Personality to Lend Foot, if you get stuck somewhere, you are gonna eat a Chaos Breath. You're gonna eat his like spit things, his dot things. You're gonna proc. You're gonna die with Daredevil. It's very dangerous. Like, the sanity damage from that guy is extremely dangerous. I would say he is the hardest thing in the entire run. Nothing comes close, in my opinion, to how dangerous he is. So we're gonna go here. This pack's really easy because there's just 2 guys who just do a bit of damage, and there's the Void Elemental. Now I'm kind of bad here and interrupt late, stun late. Sorry to interrupt it. That's just me being bad. I could have AMS'd it too. Just me being bad. So that's 100%. I believe it's 100% increased damage per stack. So here I agreed about. I could have orbed beforehand, but I said no because I had Blood of the Enemy up. My plan here was to pop Blood of the Enemy and just blow him up, but unfortunately, I should have stayed and killed that Speaker rather than swapping to the Elemental at all. And I got disorientated there because the Split Personality happening is harder to see when you are low sanity like this. And yeah, I didn't proc, but that was kind of dangerous. It shouldn't have been that close. I should have just ran away or something. I shouldn't have been in range of the Psychic Scream. I should have moved preemptively, I mean, so I didn't have to run into the Split Personality. I also took 2 stacks of the Void Buffet, which makes it take 200 increased damage. So it's quite lucky I blooded the enemy, because if I didn't have any cooldowns there, that's really bad. So here we're gonna wait. Easy. So one thing to note here is this guy actually will pull. It used to not. I'm pretty sure it used to not pull, and you could get to Unbreak without pulling him. But now he'll always pull. I actually completely mind melt here and forget what side I came in at. So I thought that the Portal Keeper was still up there, but he's not. I'm going to AMS here just to save time. I'm not planning to fight that guy in the middle quite yet. So yeah, but the reason you want AMS again is to run through Split Personality if you have to, because Yeah. Also, I missed a lot of flask and potions here because honestly, I don't really feel like I need them, so I'm not looking out for them very much. I don't have any add-ons to track them. Like, I don't think you need them at this level of tape. Like, it's no big deal at this level of, like, resistance, you know? So I get the proc here. So what I want to do here is, because I got the proc for the Titan, I want to sprint straight at that guy in the center because I'm immune to sanity loss damage right now. So I'm going to army. You might think that's they might think that's dumb, but I have wiped this guy before. He's really dangerous. I'm going to just try to burst the absolute living crap out of him during this. I'm going to AMS to get out of here if I have to. I got lucky there and the way was open, but like if it wasn't open, I'd have to AMS to run through because that's a lot of sanity damage. Each one of those orbs, I think, does like 57 at like rank 13 cape. That's 57, so 80%. That's a lot of sanity damage still, and the breath just completely annihilates you. So for here, I'm literally just looking for the second chest in this zone. But my biggest advice: just be very careful that Unbound Abomination. He just completely trucks. He completely trucks and has ended a couple of high mask, like 4 or 5 mask runs of mine before. Just because if you get disorientated, he's going to full Chaos Breath, and then during your disorient, you're going to proc, and then you might die again. It's really just why. Like, he's so dangerous, so you don't want to risk anything there. Plus, like, I don't feel like I've got 2 orbs. I've got Lust still. Like, I don't feel like I'm at any danger right now for Allure or Umbric. But I'll go over Umbric right now. So what happens with Umbric is, as Unholy, you've got 2 kicks with your Enraged Pet and your Mind Freeze. That's really good because that enables you to kick him twice before he ports. However, there's something to note is after you interrupt his port, if you use your pet, he will start casting either Polymorph or I don't know what the ability is called, like Entropic Embrace, whatever the thing is that does a sanity damage. I'll kick it here. Entropic Missiles. So I Mind Freeze that one. My pet's out there. I'm going to pet kick the next one. Easy peasy. Pet's going to do damage. I'm going to try to kick his ass as much as I can. I'm going to get ready. And because I have AMS up, I'm going to run it because, again, split personality. If I didn't have AMS up, I ran through and I shouldn't have done that. But if I didn't have split personality up, it slows you a lot. I'm going to nuke the absolute crap out of him. I think I set my pets to passive here, so you don't accidentally proc him. Do I? Yes, I do. Alright, so I set myself to passive. The reason for that is, like, even though it sucks and I'm getting sanity drained passively, I'm not, he's not casting or, like, polymorphing me. Getting polymorphed is, as you would expect, very bad. So kick that, and I think I'm going to eat an Entropic Missiles as he dies here. Again, I got hit by another Frostbite Shard, and that was because I was really worried about getting hit by, the split personality, because yeah, you'll wander because of the burnt bridge mask. Even though it's very easy, because of that mask, your sheep will kind of wander around in the circle, and you'll wander in your own black shit on the ground and lose 9 sanity a second. So here we go. Everything's up. We got an orb left. We have so much stuff left. We have cheat death. We have almost a full bar. We've got another orb. All we've got is a Lyra. So what I'm going to do here is I actually pull these. The reason I pull these is because we only have I didn't need to pull these. I thought I only had 2 stacks of the, I don't know what the buff's called, but the one that gives you move speed and haste that you get from the research tree. So the reason I'm doing that is I'm kind of holding them there so I can kind of kill them and preserve the buff kind of deal, so I can go into a Lyra with that buff up, because usually I don't pull, I kill the guards at the front of a Lyra, in front of the chapel, but I didn't kill them this time because, yeah, as I said that earlier, I didn't want the clusterfuck that was, that room with a bunch of stuns going out, because weirdly enough, even though it's a stun, IBF doesn't do anything. It's very weird. I don't know if that's a bug or it's not actually a stun, it's just like telling me it's wrong, but whatever. So I'm going to pull these here. For these guys, they always shoot that Rift Strike in the way they're looking, so you can avoid it. They're also going to do Shadow Shift, which makes them take less damage, so as much as I can, I'm going to move that out, pet kick it, because I want to, even though we're really good on time, I'd rather not waste time hitting into a guy with a defensive up. So I'm going to dodge that, kill him. So we've got a Lyra, we've got the blue vial I picked up just because why not. We've got Lust, we don't have Army because we armied that mob, which I still stand by, it's pretty good. Just going to orb here just for safety. I don't think I needed it like at all, but might as well, right? So we've got a lot of cooldowns up. There is one thing I do wrong here that's really bad, and that is I AMS nothing because I'm bad. I AMS Darkened Sky because I'm worried about getting like one shot that's retarded, because you still take the same damage even if you AMS it. But what you can AMS here as a DK is the Chains of Servitude, which is really big as you might expect. Chains of Servitude cucks you for a good like 5 or so seconds here. So what you really want to do is you just want to like AMS that, hit it, same as you did for the Slave Master in the Trade District. Illyria's not too bad though, just be careful with the eye because it's hitting me. Because there's shit everywhere, I'm going to LOS her just so she gets out of the way of all the flames and stuff. Going to kick her here because you can get tainted polymorph through walls, you can't LOS it. So yeah, don't get memed. She's going to Darken Sky again. Yep. I think at this point I just run into the shit on the ground and just don't care. I stepped into the flame there and took 45 sanity loss, which is bad as you would expect. But you know, she's almost dead. I'm really safe. Like, look how much sanity I have left. That's easy peasy. And the essences I used, I forgot to mention early on, were Blood of the Enemy Major. I used that, as I said before, to make my D&D window a lot more explosive burst. I used Lucid Miner just for the versatility, and the Rune Proc, which is good for the D&D window. I use Conflict and Strife for versatility, as well as, like, it's good overall damage for AoE. And I use Breath of the Dying Miner. I use that because I need a miner to reduce my corruption, and honestly, I think it's one of the best. If you don't have those combos, you can also use, Focusing Iris, you can use, Purification Protocol's really good as well. Honestly, some people have used the Major. I prefer Blood of the Enemy for more explosive D&D windows. As you can see, there's my spec again. I'm going to go through my gear. As I said, there's my essences, and all my Azurite traits as well are just AoE, typical stuff you'd run for like an M+ with what I got. It's just mastery stacking. Like, my gear's pretty good, but it's not like retardedly insane. Like, the corruptions I've got are mastery procs. Like, even though that's good for AoE, it's RNG. Ideally, you'd want like mastery % boosts. And like, yeah, that's Stormwind full clear. I know it's towards the end of the week, but I'm lazy and took ages to do that. And yeah, so thank you for watching. I'll be doing a Orgrimmar one as soon as the week comes. I've already done it. I think Orgrimmar is a lot more easy than Stormwind, so that's a lot better. Stormwind's probably, the Mage Quarter in particular is really hard, so see you everyone.